Kumasi Academy.
AK acquire some knowledges.
What is your AK? We'll get to know what it is. Do join us with your thoughts and comments via WhatsApp. It's 0244 340 437. I am MFA Pau.
Okay, Kwesi, for the grand prize, answer this final question. Which of these electronic services does Bond offer for your convenience? A. Internet banking. B. Inward remittances. C. ATM services via GH Link. D. Mobile money services. E. All the above and more.
E. All the above and more.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner! For your convenience, Bond provides you with internet banking, inward remittances, ATM services via GH Link, and mobile money services. Bond is dedicated to providing you with all the banking solutions you require so you can attain your dreams. Bond gives you the appropriate financial services, investment products, and advice. Contact Bond on 0303-214-444 or visit Bond at www.bond.com.gh. Bond. Your success, our passion.
Don't come me. Hey, 10 pesos, 10 pesos. Vodafone is 10 years old and is giving you an anniversary gift of 10 times bonus and 10 pesos call rate across networks. Browse for 10 pesos per megabyte. Call Vodafone or any other network at the same rate of 10 pesos per minute. That's not all. Share your scratch card with 2 more people the Kikimi style, and the 3 of you will each enjoy 10 times the value of your card. Dial *135# to subscribe. Terms and conditions apply.
The future is exciting. Ready?
Hey, Yinchi, I noticed that all the national stadia in Ghana have lasted for decades.
Oh, yes. But do you also know that the concrete bridges are also decades old?
Yes.
Only one company in Ghana can give you that guarantee, and that is Gasem.
Cement that guarantees smooth finishing of plastering.
That is the Gasem Super Rapid 32.5R. If you want to have strong blocks for any form of construction, use Gasem Super Strong 42.5R. For your time-tested bridges like the Adome, multi-story buildings, highways like the motorway, then it is Gasem Extra 42.5N.
And the good news is, all these cement products are made right here in Ghana.
Gasem, 3 cement grades, unique quality. Gasem, the nation builder.
Nationwide Medical Insurance, the leader in private health insurance, has deployed superior technology to make your healthcare experience more convenient and exciting. With the Nationwide mobile app, you can order your prescription drugs and we will deliver to your doorsteps. With over 600 dependable healthcare service providers, you're just a step away locating your service provider of choice and accessing hospital claim information in real time. Our corporate clients are guaranteed timely corporate utilization reports. We provide on-site clinics to give employees access to healthcare in the comfort of their offices. Enjoy these amazing benefits and so much more by signing on to Nationwide Medical Insurance today. Call us on toll-free number 0800-222222 or visit our website www.nationwidemh.com. Nationwide Medical Insurance. Join the healthcare family.
Joy 99.7 FM.
You're welcome back to NewsNite here on Joy 99.7 FM. Now, release our members. That's a brazen demand by the leadership of NPP Vigilante Group Kandahar Boys this evening after police in the northern region arrested 4 people in connection with a Monday raid on the office of the Tamale Teaching Hospital CEO, Dr. David Akobila. The thugs, believed to be NPP activists, locked up the office of the CEO, who they accuse of mismanaging hospital funds and nepotism, among others. We'll hear from the group shortly, but first listen to the Public Relations Officer for the Northern Regional Police Command, DSP Yusuf Tanko, speaking to my colleague Gifty Andro-Apia earlier when the arrests were made.
Yeah, we have arrested 4 people at Abuabu, a base that is known to be the base of a group that calls itself Kandahar. I'm not able to give you their details as of now. They are being screened, and after the screening, we will give you more details. We have to be sure that they are part of the suspects that we are looking for. As part of the screening, we have called the hospital authority to to come and assist us with the screening. Meanwhile, one gentleman whose name has been given as Baba Hassan, who granted interview to the press after the act at the hospital. His house has been identified. We went there this afternoon, but we didn't get him. We've left word that he should report and assist police investigations, and any development will be communicated to the media. Thank you.
So earlier we heard that there were 6 people, but it's actually 4, correct?
We have not communicated, but we communicated 4 persons.
4 persons.
Yes.
Well, you say that you can't identify them now. We understand that, but on what basis were they picked up?
Yeah, watching the video closely and the pieces of information we've gotten, it's directed at the Kandahar guys. So what we needed to do was to go to their base and round them up and see if we'll be able to identify or find the persons who carried out that act. So that is what we are doing now. But fortunately for us, as I told you, we've been able to identify the house of that Baba Alassane, and we've been there, except that we didn't meet him.
Why did it take the police so long to act?
It's a matter of investigations. You don't just get up one day, or you don't get up at a moment without doing preliminary work and start acting. So the most important thing is we have gotten much information, and we are acting on that information.
You heard that the Northern Regional Police Command DSP Yusuf Tanko there speaking to Gifty and Apia. Well, the NPP vigilante group Kandahar Boys insists the police arrested the wrong persons. According to them, their members who the police have arrested are not involved in the raid or were not involved in the raid on the hospital. They want them released immediately. They've been addressing the media in Tamale a while ago. Baba Mohammed Shamsuddin, a spokesperson for the group.
They have come to us this afternoon with surprise the arrest of some law-abiding members of our group by the security personnel on the current happenings in Tamale Teaching Hospital. We continue to condemn the act and disassociate ourselves from the actions of such, like any well-meaning Ghanaian. We have full confidence in the government that the perpetrators of these actions will be brought to book. However, we believe no citizen should carry the burden of the other. Therefore, we call on the regional police commander to release our members whom we evidentially believe are totally innocent to these unfortunate happenings. We emphasize again that Kandahar is not part of the orchestra and has not sanctioned it either. Finally, we again call on the regional police commander to instruct his members to conduct themselves professionally in the exercise of the arrest of the perpetrators of this heinous crime.
So we'll try and establish contact with the leaders of the Kandahar Boys. But the Interior Minister has been commenting on this issue. Ambrose Jerry says he will ensure that those arrested in connection with violence in Tamale are dealt with. He says the demand for their release will not be heeded, and his office will ensure they are prosecuted to serve as deterrent to others.
Against the law and get away with it, and we continue to do that. And these 5 people say we're going to pursue them, and we're going to pursue them, and they're going to be tried according to the law. That is what is going to happen. You recall in the case of the Kumasi incident, there were people who told at a certain point that the people will not go back, and I assured you then that they would go back to prison custody, and they went back. They were tried and they were convicted, and the sentence given by a competent court. That is the way it's going to be, and no one is going to let us, move back from that. The president made it clear we are committed and we're going to do it.
But with the pressure building up, then that's where the fear comes, especially from people linked to the NPP, because the NPP is in far, and then some then draw the linkage to the previous act and then make the point that, they may end up finding their way out of it after all. You are the minister. What reassurance are you giving the police that they can do their jobs without any fear or favor?
The police can do their jobs without any fear or favor. Their only fear is that, I've said before, that if any commander does not let offenders go through due process, they will be sanctioned. That is what they have to fear. What they have to fear is that when they get the suspects, they must let them go through due process. If they get the suspects and they listen to any group and they release them, they will be sanctioned. Political interference. Where is the politics? I'm Minister for the Interior, and I'm making it clear that they cannot do that and get away with it. And I have evidence of conviction. Show me that in the past. Show me that in the past. So we haven't made any claims that are not substantiated. Some people say the convictions, maybe the sentences are not harsh. That's not my remit. It's just like we get people arrested, 141 convictions with Operation Vanguard, and the sentences were issued by a court of competent jurisdiction. That is not an executive act. What is the executive act is what we are assuring you. They'll be pursued, they'll be arrested, it will be investigated and sent to court. And when it gets to court, the courts will deal with it competently within that month. We have arrested even executive members of the party. So there shouldn't be any fear that we will not do so.
Is there a long-term plan to nip this in the bud?
The long-term plan is we are consistently reacting in the way we should react. And tell me, is the frequency the way it started in 2007 January? No. Before this one, when was the last time it happened? And this one, I'm sure whoever was doing it knew. We will not say it wasn't as violent as it has been in the past, and we are going to make sure that even that one is no excuse. And so we're making it clear. And what is more important is that we are going to make sure that we have police now at the big hospitals, and in fact, as much as possible in all hospitals, because if people are sick and they have to be attended to, and we now believe that people can go out of their way to go and disrupt their work, we must protect them from such illegal acts, and that is a guarantee going forward.
Speaking of that, the police have said when they put up the post, then they will deploy the men, which something could even be a hindrance. In terms of getting the post up, that may well even discourage, them from doing this and the police being deployed.
I have discussed with the IGP, and this morning we decided that people will be deployed. There will be policemen deployed. There are policemen deployed there now to enable the chief executive and co to go on with their work. The post is supposed to be provided by another governmental institution. When the post is provided, it will make it easier for us to be there. But until the post, we are not withdrawing policemen and waiting for the post to be established. But when the post is established, there will be a control center which makes it easier for them to act.
You heard that the Interior Minister speaking to my colleague Joseph Opoku Gakpo. So as this back and forth goes on, police also continue investigations into the incident. Staff of the hospital have withdrawn some of their services in protest of Monday's incident. Many patients who turned up today at the hospital were turned away and had to seek treatment elsewhere. Some of them who were stranded at the OPD of the facility spoke to Joy News.
My brother's wife is not well. We went to Saga Hospital. They give her a refer to Tamale. We came here, let me say 2 weeks today, and the sick person is not recovered. So yesterday, I was there evening time. They said they can no more treat her, that they will give us some medicine. They will give us from most advanced medicine. She's struggling in pains.
And they said, what is their reason?
That they have a disagreement with one of their manager.
Up to now, we haven't seen any doctor to attend to us. Mother was on Monday, they gave us some tests to come in. So now I went to the laboratory, no one is there who did test for us. They are keeping on telling us that we should wait. We are sitting down there, no one is attending to us.
What's wrong with your brother?
Yeah, he's suffering from kidney problems.
We came here around 7. Not now, we're not hearing anything from them.
We were told the nurses and doctors had withdrawn their services. They are still waiting to see if they will be able to attend to patients. So that is what has kept us here waiting for the whole. Yeah, I came with my mother.
So you had some patients who thronged to the premises of the Tamale Teaching Hospital only to be turned away because doctors there have withdrawn their services. Let's get on the line and speak to Minority Leader and MP for Tamale South, Honorable Haruna Idrisu. Thank you very much for your time here on NewsNite. You must be worried about the impact of the actions of these Kandahar boys on healthcare delivery in Tamale. We're told today that 4 of them have been arrested, but we've heard them hold a press conference, say that the police should immediately release their members. Your reaction? Hello, Mr. Idrisu. Hello, Mr. Idrisu. Okay, looks like we can't establish that connection to Mr. Idrisu, but we'll get him shortly. But officials of the Health Ministry have also been appealing to the health workers to back down on the strike as efforts continue they make efforts to apprehend the perpetrators. Health Minister Kweku Ajiman-Menu is urging the health personnel to back down on their strike.
I don't think that security in Tamale and across the nation will allow individual, indisciplined young men and women to take over facilities that will take care of our health. This is a very unfortunate situation, and I don't understand why doctors, in the light of police and security people ready to protect you, want to withdraw your services. there might be something more to it that we need to investigate. The only thing I can say from now is that I will have to make a passionate appeal to the doctors and other health workers in the hospital, to consider going back to work.
So on his part also, the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Anthony Nsiasare, has sent a strong appeal to Ghanaians not to be hostile to health workers. He wants them to be receptive to them and do not take the laws into their own hands when any of them go wrong.
What do people look for at the working place? The sound working environment, all the equipment. He can get whatever he wants to use to work with, and he's free to walk about and free to mingle with the people. And I believe that Ija will not be like some other places where some people get up, walk to a place and say, move. Because you don't give the KPIs to the person. The person has some vices. You have people who are overlooking the work. The oversight responsibility lies with some other people. So if you have any complaint, just put it into writing and send it to the people who are having the oversight responsibility.
So you have the Director General of the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Anthony Nsiasare, obviously also worried about the situation. Let's head on the phone line once again and try and establish contact with Minority Leader and MP for Tamale South, Haruna Idrisu. Thank you very much for your time here on NewsNite, sir.
Thank you very much. How are you doing? My regards to your esteemed listeners and to your good self.
Thanks for asking, and thank you for that also. But I would want to find out if you are as worried as some of your constituents about the impact of the actions of the Kandahar boys on healthcare delivery in Tamale.
Essentially and necessarily, we are concerned about the breakdown of law and order in relation to the administration and provision of medical services at the Tamale Teaching Hospital. And we demand threefold actions. One, the responsibility of every government. Indeed, the President and the Regional Security Council, their primary responsibility is to guarantee the safety of citizens. And in this case, the safety and ability of patients to access the critical and needful medical care. And therefore, government must take every necessary step, urgent as it is, to ensure that no patient suffers as a result of the inability of government to guarantee the safety and security of all working medical personnel, doctors, nurses, paramedics, medics at the Tamale Teaching Hospital. We further demand that the police review the situation and arrest appropriate persons who are culpable and who are suspected to be behind the commission of that crime. Indeed, I missed the incident narrowly as I drove past the hospital heading towards the stadium to the airport to return to Accra when it was reported. But the New Patriotic Party cannot pretend nor want to deny that they do not know the persons behind us, behind this unfortunate and regrettable incident. You recall when I reminded the President that he was Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces and not Commander-in-Chief of any vigilante group. We will hold government and its functionary accountable for any loss of life resulting out of this action. They must accept responsibility. However, let me appeal to the Ghana Medical Association and to all the doctors to exercise some restraint and calm and attend to innocent patients who are not responsible for their conduct. I think that the GMA action, as justified as it may be on basis of security, is misdirected to innocent patients who need critical medical care. Government must therefore assure them of the adequacy of security and its readiness to ruthlessly, without fear or favor, nor partisan consideration, deal with the persons behind it.
But to the extent that Mr. Idrisu, we've just heard
of Dr. Akambong Macarius was under such cool mentality. They are repeating it because they got away with it. That is unacceptable. And therefore, the New Patriotic Party, the leadership in the region, and the youth activists, whoever it is, we want those who are in breach of the law. We want those who have committed crime to be held responsible. I would not engage in any stereotyping or generalization, but whoever is identified as responsible must be dealt with in accord with law.
So we've just heard that there have been 4 arrests, and the Kandahar boys have just held a press conference in an insolent manner, I would say, that they're asking the police to release their members immediately.
Law enforcement must do what is humanly possible to safeguard the lives of innocent patients whilst they deal with persons who are responsible for infractions of the law. I do not know the persons behind it. The police should know. I urge the public, particularly the people of Tamale, to cooperate with the police and to give any credible information on any suspect they may know. But I hope that they don't continue to intimidate and put medical officers to live in fear.
Okay.
This is not the way. And I trust that the Inspector General of Police, the Minister for Interior, will support the President to deal with this matter. Other than that, if law and order breaks down, the consequence will be dire and grave for all of us.
So you have the Minority Leader. We are grateful for your time, Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu, an MP for Tamale South. We've also heard from the Interior Minister on what will be done to those who have been found culpable. So will the arrest of the 4 and the appeal by the Health Minister get the workers to back down on their strike? Let's speak to Public Relations Officer of the Tamale Teaching Hospital, Dr. Ken Osei-Mensah. We are grateful for your time here on Newsnight. So you've heard the progress made so far. 4 arrests have been made by the police. You've also heard the appeal from the Health Minister, also from the Minority Leader. Are you backing down on your earlier action?
Let me say a very good evening to your listeners. It's unions in the hospital that have decided to embark on a strike. And like as management of the hospital, together with everybody else who has been appealing, we have also been appealing to them to rescind their decision. Just about a few minutes ago, the regional police command was in the hospital. Arrest of the perpetrators was not the only demand that the unions made. Some of the other demands they made was the fact that they wanted a police post to be erected at the hospital to safeguard their safety so that they can work in a very safe environment. And the police regional command was here with the chief executive and some members of management trying to identify a suitable location for the police post to be erected. So I haven't heard from the union spokespersons as of now whether they are coming back to work or not. But immediately I'm done talking to you, I would update them on the progress that has been made so far and see whether it would be enough for them to be able to come back to work.
But in the meantime, are there any emergency plans in place? Because we heard from some of these patients that thronged the hospital premises, they were all turned away. So until such a decision or such a time that a decision is made on this, all hospital patients will still be turned away. Is that the case?
What we are doing at the moment, or what the unions have agreed to do at the moment, is that all inpatients are still being taken care of. It is the entry points to the hospital, like the OPD, like the emergency, like the antenatal clinics, that have been shut down. The patients that are already with us in the wards are being taken care of. With the medical laboratory scientists, for instance, blood bank services are still being delivered, and then they are running emergency services for the patients in the ward. It is the general laboratory services that are down. And so we are hoping that all the services that we run in this hospital would be available.
Okay.
We understand that the police are making progress on some of the demands that were made by the unions. And so we are hoping that still appealing to them that we should come back to work. We understand and we agree with the sentiments they are expressing, and we can see the progress with which the police is moving forward on this particular issue, so that we can be able to serve the patients who come to us here at the Tamale Teaching Hospital.
Dr. Osei-Mensah, we're grateful for your time. That's a Public Relations Officer of the Tamale Teaching Hospital. So let's stay a while longer because Northern Regional Minister Salifu Said has been meeting with chiefs and religious bodies on this matter. Correspondent Martina Bugri joins us with more on this. So Martina, what more can you report on this particular meeting?
The meeting has just ended, and
group of eminent people have issued a communique. It's about 6 points, and they are calling for a forensic audit of the hospital. They are calling for a mass transfer of directors currently at the TTH. They are also calling on the Ministry of Health to give a directive that those who own private hospitals do not work in public hospitals. And they are also calling for the military to intervene in curbing indiscipline in the metropolis. And the person who said it said they know that it is wrong for the military to be the ones to take control of the town, but they think that the police have lost it, and so the military should be called in to ensure that there is discipline in the system. And they are also calling for a new board in the hospital as well.
Martina Bugri, we're grateful there. And let's move away from that a little bit, because the Interior Minister, Ambrose Jerry, is tonight justifying the ministry's expenditure of more than 26,000 Ghana cedis on private internal security at the ministry. Now, a 2016 report of the Auditor General expressed that the payment to the Magnum Force Security did not provide value for money. The auditor observed the service could have been provided by the Ghana Police Service at no cost. He says the expenditure on the private security was a drain on the ministry's scarce resources. Let's get excerpts of that proceedings at the Public Accounts Committee.
The ministry in the past has always had 2 night watchmen stationed inside the premises. Unfortunately, with the demise of one of the watchmen and the retirement of the other, request for financial clearance to recruit 2 watchmen to keep the internal security has been a very great challenge. We've not had it ever since 2014, thereabouts. So it became necessary that as a drawback measure, we hired this internal security personnel to keep the internal security. Indeed, they've warded off a fire disaster in the past. I mean, they have access to the keys of the office. When the office closes, they go around to check whether lights are on and off. In event of fire, they are the people immediately available to respond to the disaster and connection with the Ghana National Fire Service. And I think that in the light of this, I mean, it was prudent at the time to hire the internal security, to keep the internal security in event of any disaster. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable Chairman, with your permission, I need to put our response in context. What is the remit of the security that was hired? The remit is to deal with internal chores, locking doors within, making sure that disasters such as fire do not affect the building. It is not for what we perceive to be the orthodox terms of security. The police who are outside the ministry provide cover for all the area within the wall. And Mr. Chairman, the ratio of civilian to police is 1:848. And therefore, if you take 2 members of the Ghana Police Service to be within the ministry to perform these petty roles, I dare say it will be an underutilization of an essential and limited resource. You certainly cannot have an armed policeman going within the room to make sure the doors are closed. So what we would say is that, yes, you might think of 28,000 being an extra cost. But if you really want to see the cost of posting 2 armed policemen there, you need to deal with the opportunity cost. What would those 2 armed policemen be doing for the rest of the country? They certainly would be better engaged outside there, keeping the rest of us safe. So I dare say that the remit of those we call private security is not what is the common sense, the security provided by the police. And we think, unless you decide otherwise, that the police post out there to watch the Ministry of Education, Youth and Sports, and all those within the vicinity is certainly better use of the limited resources.
So you have excerpts of the Public Accounts Committee sitting today where it emerged that the Interior Ministry is using up to 26,000 Ghana cedis or spending that on private security. Let's get some of your messages quickly. This one's from Evans in Kumasi says, this impunity must stop. How? He questions. And Kofi Sedu says the calling of the Kandahar boys to have their arrested members released should be enough signal to the police to be on red alert to avoid any reprisal from these lawless attacks. We beg the hospital staff to go back to work and resume their duties, he says. And this one from Kwesi Ronald says, Honorable Haruna Idrisu is muddying the waters if you will go on the tangent of politicization as far as the uncivilized act is concerned. This unfortunate incident from political actors sometimes emboldening people to misbehave without fear. And Sewado Toklo says, I think we are no more safe in this country. I don't think any serious country will allow individuals to go and hold press conferences by threatening the peace of our country. And it goes on. Some of your comments there via WhatsApp is 0244-340-437. Still to come here on Newsnight is official. Katanga, Unity, and Africa now mix halls as authorities of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology calls the bluff of those who opposed the conversion. Also, we get to hear the shocking story of Mafi Akukokpo, the community in the Central Tong district where everyone, including children, drinks muddy water.
We want the government to bring us another water, pipe-borne water.
They have lost interest in the governance system. They are within the country, but in a way cut off from the system.
And then later on flip side, we'll get to know what AKA means.
Anani, Kerry, and Ama. What's the full meaning of AKA?
AKA, Accra Kumasi Academy.
AKA, acquire some knowledges.
Interesting, acquire some knowledges. So, Bobby Lai is, Israel is Bobby Lai. That's AKA Bobby Lai.
Oh,
and what are you? What's
AKA
your AKA?
George Yafe.
What's in business, George?
Well, it looks like PricewaterhouseCoopers is being asked to identify assets of children, family, and spouse members of the directors of the defunct UT and Capital Bank and government yet to decide on the possibility of taxing mobile money transactions. The business news on Newsnight is brought to you by MTN Business. Welcome to the new world of business. Kingdom Books and Stationery, your number one stop shop for all your office essentials and stationery. Heaven Plus insecticide mosquito spray, pleasant on humans, tough nightmare on insects. United Pension Trustees, my own pension, Papa, and Marco to Parts as distributors of Chevy cars.
That's the sound of my heart breaking the first time I said I wanted to be a cassava farmer.
Thank you.
But this was when I graduated with first class honors in agriculture. Oh, my first harvester. The last harvester I ordered online. That's people seeing my fresh cassava page on Facebook and Instagram. And endless number of calls for my quick fufu all year round.
There are beautiful connections that bridge humble todays to amazing tomorrows on Ghana's #1 network, everywhere you go.
The Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited's Back to School promotion is here with us again. From the 1st of August to the 30th of September, Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited is giving a generous 10% discount on all school items like textbooks, pens, pencils, erasers, exercise books, and much more across all our branches in Accra, Tema, Kumasi, Takoradi, and Cape Coast. Parents, teachers, and students, please hurry while stocks last. For more information, call us on 0302 764 101 or 0302-764-209 or email info@kingdomgh.com. You can also visit our website www.kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books, where quality and affordability are both assured. Terms and conditions apply.
That is a sweet sound of excellence.
That is a sound from Mack. Yes, Mack Ghana is the #1 distributor of the world's best quality Isuzu and Chevrolet vehicles in Ghana. Isuzu trucks from 1.5 tons to heavy-duty vehicles. Isuzu buses from 15 to 33 seaters, double and single cabin pickup, available in automatic and manual transmissions. We also stock a wide range of Chevy cars, from SUVs, sedans, and small cars, fully loaded with exquisite specifications. All our range of vehicles stand out due to its high fuel efficiency, safety, luxury, spacious interior, world-class delivery, and after-sales servicing. What's more, we offer flexible payment terms to meet your pockets. Mack Ghana is a sole distributor for Isuzu trucks and pickups, as well as all range of Chevrolet cars in Ghana. Call us on 0302-813-919 in Accra or 0242-039-550 in Kumasi. Visit our website at mackghana.com. Mack Ghana, with you for the long run.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Welcome back to Business on NewsNite. An accounting firm, PricewaterhouseCoopers, is being asked to identify the assets of spouse, children, family members, and shareholders, the directors of the defunct UT and Capital Bank. Now, this is expected to make it easier in identifying all these assets of the related parties in case they want to go after these assets and sell them to deal with the cost of liquidating these banks. There is more in the following Business Desk report.
The report, which was put together by external consultants of the Bank of Ghana, looks at measures that should be put in place to prevent challenges that led to the collapse of UT and Capital Bank from happening again. In that report, which was said to be ready earlier this year, it was recommended that the receiver, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Bank of Ghana, together with the Financial Intelligence Center, the Central Securities Depository, and the Registrar General's Department, assemble registered and financial assets of all shareholders and board of directors of Capital Bank and UT. Banks, including related family members. Now, this would target wives, children, and even parents. This should make it easier in situations where the personal assets of these directors have to be sold to help pay off the cost of liquidating these banks. This would also ensure that none of the directors quickly move assets into the names of their families. The Bank of Ghana is also being asked to work closely with the other regulatory agencies like the Securities and Exchange Commission to help improve regulation of the financial sector. The Bank of Ghana is also being asked to set up an internal financial stability committed to review its operations in the banking sector.
And that was a Business Desk report. In a related development, Information Minister Designate Kojo Nkrumah says any director found to be involved in any criminal act that led to the collapse of the banks would be dealt with.
The objective of government is to have a robust, well-regulated, well-performing financial services sector. That's the objective. If in our bid to achieve that, some persons are found culpable of criminal conduct, as I've mentioned, and as the finance minister has mentioned, the governor has mentioned, those persons will be dealt with. Criminality needs to be dealt with separately from the big objective, which is to ensure that we have a robust, well-performing, well-regulated financial services sector. It is true that it's been about a year since the Bank of Ghana and its advisors completed their primary investigations and made it available to IOCO and some of the other investigative and prosecutorial agencies. I do know that soon they will now take things to the next level. Prosecutorial action against persons found culpable should be commencing soon.
Information Minister Designate Kojo Nkrumah. Now, government says it has no immediate plan of taxing mobile money transactions in the country. They have been reported the government was initially considering introducing the tax to help deal with the revenue shortfalls. But speaking to Joy Business after the MTN stakeholder discussion, mobile money today, Deputy Minister of Finance Kuku Kwarteng tells Joy Business, even though it's not on the table now, they could consider it in the future.
The moment that decision has not been made, if we wanted to do it, we could have done it in the media review. So the decision was made not to introduce any such taxes, what was almost a turnover tax on mobile money transaction, where we made a decision not to do that. But the point I keep making is that government continues to monitor the economy. And therefore, depending on what the observations are and what policy objectives you are pursuing, you may want to consider perhaps more taxes on in the area of mobile money. Don't forget that not only are we looking at mobile money transactions in these discussions, you're also looking at the fees. When people transfer money across mobile, the fees that is paid at the moment has no tax. So when we talk of taxation in the mobile money space, we're talking broadly about all these things.
Kuku Kwating is Deputy Minister of Finance. Meanwhile, one of the biggest players in the business, MTN, says they welcome the latest position of government. Elihini is General Manager in charge of mobile money service of MTN.
Yes, we are. Even more is the fact that the Deputy Finance Minister also talked about continuous engagement. For us, that side is very important. Continuous engagement also means that we'll continue to dialogue and discuss the future of the industry. And so those conversations will help us take decisions together. And those decisions ultimately will inure to the benefit of the industry, because when the parties are talking, then they'll be sharing ideas, they'll be sharing information, and also the latest technologies that will help to make that industry much better would all be brought to the table. And
General Manager in charge of mobile money service at MTN, Elihini. Now, the Bank of Ghana says the marginal decline in mobile money funds with banks doesn't mean that the good times for the service are over. Now, this is in reaction to the more than 100 million cedi drop in the total value of mobile monies held with commercial banks, and in reaching actually 2.1 billion Ghana cedis for the second quarter of this year. Head of payment at the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Seto Amediku, however, says that this is just a marginal dip in the numbers.
There was a marginal reduction in the float balances by 100 million Ghana cedis between the last date of our publication, that was March and June, but we haven't seen it to be any significant trend. We just look at it as an outlier, which is just a temporary reduction in the float. And this is not the first time. We normally, on a month-to-month basis, you will see some sort of fluctuation. But we believe that before the end of the year, we are expecting to see more float levels in our banking industry.
Dr. Seto Amediku is head of payments at the Bank of Ghana. Now, the Ghana Statistical Service has attributed the downward slide in inflation rate to policy measures by government. Inflation since last year witnessed some downward trend until June this year, before it declined again in the month of July. Inflation rate for the month of July dropped marginally to 9.6%. And explaining the outlook for the numbers to Joy Business, acting government statistician Bawadi noted that the decline is likely to continue.
In January, it dipped to 10.3. Then in February, we recorded 10.6. Then in March, 10.4. Then April, we recorded the lowest 9.6. Then in May, it inched up to 9.8, and then June 10.0. Then it's come down again to 9.6. I think in all these instances we explained why the figures behaved that way. Some were due to policy interventions, and others were due to the base drift effect, which we don't have control of.
Bawadia is acting government statistician, and that's all for business on NewsNite. And interesting, mill holes being turned.
Yeah, it's
and I remember in Legon they tried it with the Vandal.
It didn't work.
It didn't work. You know, the only city in Legon.
We'll see. But this time, the University Hall, also known as Katanga, as well as the Unity and Africa Halls on the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology campus, will from next month welcome female and male students in their respective halls. Despite strong opposition from a section of the students, authorities at the KNUST today made their intentions official and designated the 6 traditional halls as mixed, with the sole aim of expanding access to female students. My colleague Elton Brobe joins me with more in a statement that just came through.
So we have 2 statements. First, we'll start with the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And from the Office of the Registrar, change of traditional halls to mixed halls. Now, the statement says that in line with the university policy of periodic review of residential accommodation for students, it has decided that effective 2018-2019 academic year, all 6 traditional halls of residence, namely Independence Hall, University Hall, also known as Katanga, Africa Republic, Unity Hall, and Queens, would be designated as mixed hall. the university policy of expanding access to female students remained unchanged. So this is coming from the University, Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. It's signed by Ben Ando for the registrar.
We're still trying to establish contact to Mr. Ando, but there's an interlocutory injunction. Elton, stay with me shortly. I'll come back to you on that. But Nana Otu Texing is a former hall president for Katanga and joins us on the line. Nana Otu Texing, thank you very much for your time here on NewsNite. So upon all your opposition and protest, and someone will say, Papa, it has all come to naught? Hello, Mr. Texin. Hello, Mr. Texin.
Hello.
Okay, it's much better now. I would ask you to reposition yourself, but it looks like it's much better. So I was asking that it looks like all your opposition and protest has come to naught.
Well, it hasn't at all. Katangis never give up and will keep fighting. What letter was read to you clearly shows that the university administration obviously is confused. For me, is a simple phrase to give them is confused.com. I can give you Katanga's chronology of why we've been fighting and why we continue to fight and why Katanga would always survive. Now, we have always known since our saint VC Andam passed away that all the vice chancellors would come chasing Katanga because we are the only hall on campus that has the testicular fortitude to take them on. They, by the university statutes, are supposed to act in loco parentis, being our parents on campus. But most often than not, they treat us as though we are kids and have no thoughts of our own. So Katanga is the only hall that has always stood up for students on campus. And that is why every vice-chancellor after every vice-chancellor has always tried to put Katanga down. And I'll give you a short chronology of what they've done to bring us to where we are now. They started by stopping inter-university games, which was games between Sabah Hall, Katanga, and all those halls because they claimed that we're having too much fun. Then they moved on to stop the 4 years of residence. They decided at the time, initially, that they were going to have in, out, in, out. Now, because that scheme failed and students who were coming in were still very active and kept the spirit of Katangism, they then changed it to now you only have 1 year in the halls. And even after that, Katangism still kept fighting and kept going on, which they didn't like. So then they came around to say, well, they take Katanga completely off admission list. So if you're a student applying to KNUST now, you don't find Katanga on the admission forms, which is all, I mean, it's absurd to think that there's a traditional hall built by the government, but somehow the administrators feel that its name must not be on the forms. Fast forward, they decided to bring ladies to our halls. And I have to make this clear.
But what's really your difficulty in accepting ladies in your halls?
Well, that is what I'm coming to. We have absolutely no difficulty. Ladies are our wives, our girlfriends, our colleagues, our concubines. We love them to bits. We are fighting the principle. And the principle is that they are using ladies as pawns to try and keep down men. Now, we want ladies up. We want ladies to share. If you look at the letter that has been read to you, now the Vice Chancellor's reasoning for bringing this policy was twofold. One was security, and the other was STME, to bring girls up. Our recommendation was, okay, fine. You have 6 traditional halls, Africa Hall female, 2 hall, University Hall, and 2 halls. Now, would that make a whole hall, I'd say Queen's Hall. Queen's Hall started as a female hall. Why don't you make Queen's Hall a female hall? Now, today, the night comes out to us. We are changing all the halls to be mixed. Now, this is a mockery of academia. There is a plethora of academic research that actually goes to speak to how beneficial it is for students to dorm together or to study together in their sexes. And as academics who are telling us as Ghanaians that they are doing good for us, should be able to support some of their decisions with academic research. Okay,
so Mr. Texan, fast forward, we would have to wrap up quickly. What actions are you going to take? Because it looks like it's official now.
Well, they think it's official. We've got an injunction, and we are warning every student who has been Katanga Hall to be careful. Because we will...
Just so we are clear, is it a joint injunction? Because we've seen that of the Unity Hall. You've also sought an injunction against the process?
At this point, I'm speaking on behalf of Katanga because I am aware of what injunctions we have placed. And I'm sure Unity might be going on their own. But there is an injunction. So the Vice-Chancellor is no duty placing anybody in Katanga until that issue has been resolved.
Okay. Mr. Nanaotu Texin, I should say, we're grateful for your time. He's a former Hall president for Katanga. And Elton, we're talking about the Unity Hall injunction. Tell us more about it.
They've placed an interlocutory injunction on any decision by the universities to convert the traditional male and female halls into mixed halls. And they are praying the court on the university to respect the court decision, which is to move this particular case on Tuesday, 21st day of August 2018 at the Accra High Court.
Okay. We'll see how this issue pans out in the coming days. But it's time now for the latest from the world of sports. Baba Tando is here with us in the studio. Mixed hall, single hall, I'm sure.
Yes.
You can't be bothered, can you?
So which one will Kelly be going to?
Katanga.
Wow. It's just like I met someone who says she's a former student of Accra Academy, like a lady who says she's a former student.
It used to be, we're told.
Yes. Anyway, an international sports lawyer, Selassie Adika, says Ghana has a chance of avoiding the ban by World Football governing body FIFA as both parties meet tomorrow to further deliberations on how to reform the Ghana Football Association. Sports Minister Isaac Isiama, Deputy Attorney General Godfrey Dame and Deputy Chief of Staff Abu Jinapo will make up government's delegation that will be going to Zurich. They are actually leaving tonight. FIFA issued a 10-day ultimatum to government on Monday to discontinue its petition to have the Ghana Football Association dissolved or face a ban from them. However, government in a statement earlier sought further audience with FIFA to fashion a way forward. Today, Information Minister Designate Kojo Nkrumah confirmed at a press briefing that FIFA has now heeded to the plea of government and they are ready to engage.
Upon receiving this communication, the government of Ghana and FIFA have continued to engage, even at the highest levels. And the two parties, that's the government of Ghana and FIFA, have agreed to meet on Thursday, August 16, 2018, at the FIFA headquarters to discuss a number of issues. The focus of that discussion is to explore means by which the two parties, that's the government of Ghana, and FIFA, can finalize arrangements on a mutually acceptable route for this final phase of resolving the observed infractions in football administration in Ghana. FIFA, in the earlier meetings with us, reaffirmed their commitment to zero tolerance for corruption in football. And they also expressed their commitment that they have no problem with Ghana enforcing our domestic laws generally.
You heard from Information Minister Designate Kojo Nkrumah, but lawyer Selassie Adika believes both Ghana and FIFA can find a neutral ground.
We shouldn't assume we are in a weaker bargaining position because Ghana is a huge market, for FIFA as far as its product, which is association football. And the revenue it generates and the whole and the marketing bonanza which association football is.
Do you think that Ghana can avoid the ban and at the same time maintain the reforms in the Ghana Football Association?
We can achieve both ends if everybody involved sees keeps the big picture in focus and understand that the goal here is to save Ghana football from a ban because the issue of saving Ghana football from the ban is different from the reforms. The reforms are absolutely going to have to be done by the football people themselves.
And MFR, that was international sports lawyer Selassie Adika. Now, in some few minutes, that's about in 6 minutes, there will be a battle in Europe for the UEFA Super Cup between champions of the UEFA Champions League, Real Madrid, and their city rivals, actually, and winners of the Europa Cup, Atletico Madrid. That game is at 7 p.m. And MF, of course, there's tennis going on, and I can't leave without dropping a word or two. So Novak Djokovic has actually ended his game with Adrian Manarino. It ended in 3 sets. Adrian Manarino won the first, and then Djokovic went on to win the next two, 6-2, 6-1. That's enough. There's more on the sports page of myjoyonline.com.
Thank you very much, Baba Tando. And the big question for many of us is how many times do you actually use treated water to flush the toilet, even after urinating? I'm sure a number of times. You're uncountable, you can't tell. But if water is life, the people in the Volta region village of Mafi, Akukokbo, are already on the brink of death. They have no potable water source. I'm sure you've watched the footage on Joy News, on Facebook, and also on Joy News or Multi TV. But On Joy News Agenda, we are highlighting access to potable water. We shine a light on the plight of the people consuming what we have christened the world's dirtiest water.
Residents here, old and young, men and women, on daily basis, walk for some 15 minutes to get to the nearest water source. This is how the water looks like. Unclean, brownish, muddy, as thick as porridge. Sticks and tree branches lie in them with bubbles brewing all over it. Felicia, a mother of 4, stands in the mud as she stretches her hand and fetches from the deep source into her basin. A large chunk of what she fetches is actually mud. But guess what? They drink it like that, without any form of treatment.
This is the only source of water they have over here. They use it to cook, they drink it, do everything with only this water.
Felicia's daughter Sylvia says they don't have a choice.
Aren't you afraid this may cause you any illness?
But it is only this water that we have.
What do you want done about this? What do you want to change?
We want the government to bring us another water, pipe-borne water.
If water is truly life, as they say, then these residents obviously deserve better than this. For Joy News, Joseph Opoku-Gakpo reporting.
You heard the plight of the resident of Mafi, Akukokbo. We've been joined on the phone by the DCE for Central Tone, Thomas Moore Zonia. Thank you very much for your time here on Newsnight. Mr. DCE, do you know this area?
Yes, please.
You do? And I'm sure you know about the plight of these residents when it comes to potable water.
Yes, please.
And what have you done about it?
Yeah, that has been the situation I have inherited. I visited the community and saw it for myself and then decided to solve the problem.
That's the situation you inherited. For how long now?
I'm about a year old in office.
A year old in office, and you are not able to turn around the plight of these residents in your area?
Yes. Connecting people with water is not a man or two's job.
It's not?
There are things you have to
It's not? How long would it take for you to get them potable water? You need 2 years, you need 4 years to do that?
Can you allow me tell you what I am doing since?
I'm listening.
Yeah, when I visited the place and saw the situation, we awarded a contract for a borehole to be drilled for the village. Unfortunately, the rig couldn't access the place. The road is also bad and muddy, and such a heavy truck.
So it's not just water that they don't have. Their roads and everything is also not good. How about a poly tank, for instance, to start with?
That's why I'm telling you what I was doing, and can you allow me tell you my story?
We don't have all the time, Mr. Moore.
Okay. So what we did was, after assessing the place that the truck cannot go there, we procured a poly tank for the community and even awarded the road to be constructed there for at least a water tanker can send water there. Unfortunately, the place is so muddy that the equipment couldn't work on the road. So what we are doing now, during this dry season, we think when we get to the dry season, a grader will cut the road to the place first. We send a poly tank, which we have already procured for them, so that we can be servicing them with pipe water from the district capital.
Okay. Mr. Moore, we are grateful for your time. That's Thomas Moore is the DCE for Central Tone there on the situation, on the plight of what you're doing for the people of Mafi, Akukokbo. And that's it for Newsnight here on Joy 99.7 FM. Strong and Sassy is up next, but just in case you're wondering what AKA is, I'm sure it's also known as. But listen to what others thought it was.
What's the full meaning of AKA? A.